This is your Akai Mpk Mini Play Quick Start Guide. In this video, I'm going to go over how to use the entire keyboard, pads, knobs, everything else. And in the second half of the video, I'll also be going over how to use this keyboard to record on a computer using Ableton Live. Let me just say, you don't have to learn every single detail about this keyboard to enjoy it. However, learning about how to use these features will open up a world of possibilities for creativity when recording your music. Alrighty, let's get started in battery mode. So first things first, how do you change the sounds? Well, right now keys is lighting up and so is internal sounds, which you want to make sure both of those are lighting up or else you're not going to be able to listen to it. So if internal sound is turned off right now, go ahead and make sure it is turned on. So changing the sounds is easy enough. All you got to do is turn this knob right here. And if you want to change it to drums, all you have to do is click on this button that says drums and use that same knob to switch between drum kits. You'll notice that I did have the full level button turned on. What this button means is whenever you touch your pads, it's going to play at the loudest velocity. So even if I touched it super softly, it's still going to play at full velocity. Whereas if I have it off, the velocity changes depending on how softly or hard I hit the pad. Obviously, the volume knob is right here. So now let's talk about the favorites button. You can actually save your favorite sounds in one of the pads. All you have to do is go to a sound that you want to save. So let's go with music box. And to save the sound to a pad, all you have to do is hold down favorites and pick a pad. We're just going to pick pad 1 for now. So now if I'm on a different sound, but I want to go back to music box, all I have to do is hold favorites and that pad where I saved a music box at the same time. And I'm back on music box. This button is going to give you access to either pads A or pads B. If the light on the button is red, then you're on pad A. If it's green, then you're on pad B. Similarly, this button gives you access to either knobs A, red light, or B, green light. The knobs themselves have built-in effects. On knobs A, we have filter, resonance, reverb, and chorus. On knobs B, we have attack, release, EQ low, and EQ high. Well, we have this little arrow that's pointing to the left right now, and I'm moving this knob and nothing is happening. Don't worry, your Akai Mpk Mini is not broken. Just go ahead and move that knob all the way to the left, and now you can access that effect. Now let's go ahead and move on to the left side of the keyboard. So this little joystick looking thing is going to be for the pitch bend and modulation. And this is going to be your arpeggiator, so when you have it on, you can change the tempo right here. You're also going to see something written above each key on the keyboard. So for example, 1/4, up, latch. So to access these up here, for example, let's say we wanted to access latch. All you have to do is hold the on and off button on the arpeggiator and click the key right underneath the latch. And that basically allows the sound of your keyboard to keep playing even though you don't have your fingers on the keys. Similarly, if you wanted to access all of these other things, you can do the same thing. Just hold down the on and off arpeggiator button and click the key underneath the thing that you want to access. Then you're going to see these buttons that say octave minus and octave plus, and essentially what it does is it allows you to go up or down an octave. So for example, if I play C right now, but I want a lower C, I can just press the octave minus button and it'll give me a lower C. Same thing goes for if I want a higher C. Then we have note repeat, which is very popular for drums especially. So let's go ahead and switch over to drums right now. And I'm going to hit full level so that the pads play at full velocity. So check out what note repeat does. And going back to this part of the keyboard for a second, you can actually change the results of your note repeat depending on which key you access down here. So for example, okay, so now that we've gone through all of that, definitely pay lots of attention to this next part because I'm going to go over how to use this MIDI keyboard with a computer, including setup, how to record music with it, how to set up your own audio effects to the knobs, and how to add drum samples to the pads. So open up your ear holes and let's get into it. So the first thing you're going to want to do is load a sound. As you can see, I've already loaded a sound right here, but just to show you guys, I'm going to click on this MIDI track and just click on this sound that I want to load. And you see here how this is red. That means that the track is armed. So once the track is armed, you can play and you'll start hearing the sounds. As you can see, you can tweak the sounds here. Oh, and by the way, you guys, make sure that internal sounds is turned off because if you do have internal sounds turned on, it's going to play the built-in sounds in the keyboard as well as the sounds coming from your computer. So yeah, just make sure that that is turned off. Okay, so right now we are in what is called session view. This is probably one of my favorite things about Ableton is that you can get really creative with different clips in here. If you want to get into arrangement view, all you have to do is click tab on your keyboard and it'll go to arrangement view, which is what you will see on traditional DAWs. But for now, we're going to be working on session view. For those of you that are new to Ableton Live, this is your metronome right here. So when you click on it, it will activate. And if you go to this little arrow right here, you're going to see that there is a count in. Yours might have none right now, but make sure you have at least one bar versus hitting record and immediately trying to play whatever you're trying to play. So make sure you got that one bar count in right there. Okay, so recording the sound is actually quite easy. All you have to do is click on this and you're going to hear the count in and you can start playing. So I just pressed the space bar to stop the recording, and as you can see, it left me with this clip. And if I play spacebar again, you can hear what I just played. As far as putting drums into the pads, what you want to do is make sure that you have a MIDI clip. So you can go right here and go to insert MIDI track or do the shortcut. So now I'm going to arm this track right here and go through some of the stock drums. Let's just go with this one for now. So I double clicked and now I have all of these drum samples in my pads. If I wanted to access even more of those samples, I can actually click pads AB and you're able to access more pads. And basically everything that I went over in the beginning of the video is still applicable here on the computer. So for example, if I hit full level, It hits everything at full velocity. Same thing with note repeat. If I hit note repeat, you can access that as well. You can also create your own drum rack. So just really quickly, for example, I'm just going to choose a random kick, hat, and a snare. There's a ton of places you guys can get samples, free drum packs online. You can check Reddit, Cymatic's website. But let's just say that upon choosing these drum samples, like I want to save this drum rack, I can go right here and it'll save the drum rack. All I have to do is come up with a name. Okay, so the last thing that I want to show you is how to add effects to the knobs. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go back to this sound and I'm going to choose an audio effect. Auto filter is one of the most popular ones to use, so let's just go with that one. Oh, and let's make sure that that track is armed. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is go to MIDI right up here in the upper right hand corner and click on frequency and turn the knob that you want the frequency to be changed with. So I'm just going to go with this one right here. And if you see that that actually did not work, there's a reason for that. I'm actually glad that this happened right now so I can show it to you guys. It didn't work, and I'll show you guys why that didn't work. Nothing showed up because I don't have this selected right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and select all of these right here. I'm going to click all of these right here too. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to MIDI, click on frequency, and boom, it actually shows up now. So again, what this means is this knob is now MIDI mapped to the frequency of the auto filter. Let me show you what that sounds like. So I'm going to click MIDI again. Alright, so that is actually it for this tutorial, you guys. One final thing that I want to stress is don't feel like you have to master every single one of these features to start making music. Just use the features that help you feel most creative and don't stress out about the ones that might not come as natural to you. Making music is really, really fun for me and I hope for it to be the same for you. I'll be coming out with more Akai Mpk mini videos on live performance, looping, Ableton, and more, so definitely subscribe if you are into that, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.